Samanta Chakravalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Sandhamang Unirajas Sunantu Sagga Mokkadang Dhammasavana Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhammasavana Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhammasavana Kalo Ayang Badanta Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma sambuddhassa Kodano upanahi ca papamakhi ca naro Vipanna diddhi mayavi tangjanya vasalo iti Ek jangva dvijangva pi yodhapanani hingsate yasya pane dayanati tangjanya vasalo iti. So, dear friends in Dhamma, as usually, we are sharing Dhamma sermons every Monday evening. So this is what a pleasurable moment to discuss Dhamma discourses preached by Buddha. So that is wonderful, sharing Buddhist knowledge with you. Those who are like to listen Dhamma, this is the moment for that. So the listening Dhamma is would be able to increase your Dhamma knowledge. So that is what giving the lot of advantagements for your convenience of your life, for your happiness, for your you can, after listening Dhamma sermons, you can reduce your mental suffering, mental illnesses. So those who are suffering with mental pain, so those who are suffering with mental bad emotions, so they are able to get more knowledge about what the Buddha explained about how to reduce mental suffering with increasing of positive ideas, as Buddha mentioned in some special suttas. So actually today I wanted to explain about a special sutta described by the Buddha. So that sutta name is, that is very famous sutta. The name is Vasala Sutta, the discourse of the outcast. So that's what a great sutta, including a lot of explanations about outcast. What are the nature of outcast, and then how to be outcast, how to recognize as outcast who are living in the society. So as a psychology, as a philosophy, the Buddhism gave us a lot of things, the variety of path the Buddha described. So actually, we can gain some sort of knowledge about mental illnesses, so psychological knowledge, and then the other path is we can affiliate with there's some social knowledge. That means sociology, right? The Buddhist sociology. So that elucidate some sort of things, the human behaviors and the nature of human evaluation, and how do people think, and then some sort of things. So describing this sutta is we can achieve some sort of knowledge about outcast. What's the meaning of outcast in Pali is vasala. So that is what living with, doing bad misbehavioral things. That's what meaning of vasala, outcast. So they are doing informal things as a human being. We can recognize the beings who they are, what they are doing as their characteristics. Someone who are dealing with good habitual, so we can recognize as a good person as their words, as their behavior, as their action, as their thinking pattern. So we can recognize the good and bad people in the society with observing their behavior, their characteristics. So the Buddha explained in this sutta how to recognize outcasts who are living in the society, who are living surround us. That's what very important. Learning this Vasala Sutta for us, giving the huge variety of explanations about outcast, what their behaviors, how looks like they are, such a way explaining in this sutta that's valuable for the for us to recognize outcast in the society for our happiness. Otherwise, we have to suffer from living with them. So that is what the Buddhism gives us, the positive thinking, and then the sutta called Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. That sutta mentioned Appyehi sampayogo dukkho. That's what the meaning of someone who are dealing with bad misbehavioral person. So they have to suffer with, they have to lamenting with, associating with them. That is what nobody want to live with misbehavioral person. So that is what the Buddha mentioned, that appyehi sampayogo dukkho. So how do we recognize outcast in the society, in the surround us? So what are the nature of behavior? And then we have to investigate what types of expressions if they have, and also we have to investigate what types of actions they are following, and then what types of ambitions if they have. So that is what we have to observe when we are living in the society. So that is giving more explanation about outcast in this particular sutta. For us as a Buddhist, we are more fortunate listening these types of good advices from the Buddha. So this sutta, the Buddha was preached. He was living in Savatthi, very famous temple named Anatha, created by Anatha Pindika. That temple was named Jetavanarame. So while Buddha was living at that particular temple, this sutta was preached to particular recluse Brahmin, to the special Brahmin called Aggika Bharadwaja. His name was, that devotee name was Aggika Bharadwaja. So this is what a great occasion that was at the moment of meeting both of them, Buddha and Aggika Bharadwaja, recluse. So having taken bowl and robes, the Buddha went to Pindapata. The Buddha went to alms round, surround Jetavanarama temple. So while the Buddha was going for the alms round, the Aggika Bharadwaja recluse, having seen the Buddha was coming in front of him, so he was started to greeting with some sort of the not suitable words like vasala. That word used, that Aggika Bharadwaja recluse, to greeting to the Buddha. After hearing that greetings, the Buddha was not worried, asking that rude word, right? Rude greeting word. The Buddha was not lamented. The Buddha was not unhappy mood, because the Buddha has unavoidable, unshakable mind, right? He has stable mind. He has enlightened the nature of society, the nature of behaviors, the nature of human mind. Like there are two types of human beings in the society, wise and unwise. And also we are calling in Buddhism, in Pali, Bala and Pandita, right? The Bala mean unwise, and then Pandita mean wise, right? So the Buddha knew who was the wise person and then who was the unwise person. So that's very important thing to understand what's the good and bad in the things that happening surround us. Sarancha sarato nyatva asarancha asarato. So Buddha mentioned that stanza, as a human being, the greatest thing is the knowing the things happening surround us. We have to know these things are good, these things are bad, these are positive, and then these are negative things, right? That's very important to understanding. That's very important to understanding. These things are optimistic, and then these things are pessimistic, right? So this person are positive person, this person has negative feelings, right? Such a way understanding these methods, these things, the most important to live with happily and live with less suffering intentions in the society. That's very important thing. So, you know, in this, when it comes to this Vasala Sutta, so after greeting to the Buddha, such a word, I have mentioned that outcast, that Aggika Bharadwaja called to Buddha, oh, Vasala. That means, hey, Vasala. That means, oh, outcast, right? The Aggika Bharadwaja called to Buddha such a rude word that was not suitable for the greeting to the Buddha as a wise person, but Aggika Bharadwaja was not known about Buddhism. Who was the Buddha? What types of knowledge the Buddha had in his mind? That Brahmin, that recluse, didn't know about who was the Buddha. Thus, no matter calling Buddha such a words, I think because of not knowing greeting to the Buddha is not giving you know, desire or defilement, not accumulating sin for his life, because of not knowing who is the Buddha, who was fully finished his fully avoided his mental suffering, and then after simply we would say Aggika Bharadwaja was not emphasized who was the Buddha is. That's no matter. So we have to discuss the content of this Vasala Sutta. That's what very important thing discussing this sutta. After hearing that rude greeting from the Aggika Bharadwaja, the Buddha was not, you know, how to say, the Buddha was not lamented. The Buddha was not suffered after hearing that rude greeting word, but suddenly the Buddha asked, hey Brahmin, do you know who is the outcast? Do you know how can be recognized outcast in the society? Do you know what types of behaviors if they have? Do you know that such a things? And then he was answered to the Buddha, I do not know actually how to recognize outcasts, what types of behaviors, characteristics, if they have. If you would preach me, who is the outcast, what types of behavior, if they have, if you can please preach me. And then after having invited to the Buddha, after hearing, after accepting his invitation, the Buddha started to explain what types of behaviors, characteristics are following as an outcast. That was amazing explanation in this sutta. You know, I have mentioned two Pali stanzas at the beginning of my Dhamma sermon today. Kodano upanahicha papa makkicha yonaro vipanna ditti mayavi tangjanya vasalo iti. So actually, I'm not remembering that sutta. I'm using to read that sutta. I'm using resources to read that sutta because I'm not remembering that Pali Gathas. That's bit long sutta. So that is what it is not convenient to keep in mind. So there's no matter. So we have to learn what's the content of this particular sutta. That's what we can learn some Dhamma knowledge when we are while we are studying this particular sutta. So someone has negative thoughts such as angry and hostile and also hypocritical in nature, right? And also if a man is failing in good vision, right? Someone who cannot understand what's the good vision, right? You know, the right effort, which means samma ditti, all right? So one who cannot understand right vision, and someone who has angry, arrogant, and greedy thoughts, right? They are the person who are included to this basket. We call they are actually outcast, right? That's the meaning of first stanza in this sutta, right? So that's the some sort of nature of outcast the Buddha mentioned in first stanza. The second stanza going to be described ekajangva dijangvapi yoda panyani hingsati yassa pane dayanatti tang janya vasalo iti. So once born or twice born living beings one hurts, right? So simply we would say some persons we can see in the society, they are hurting others, right? They are blaming others, they are burdening others, right? They do not like to see others successfulness, right? Others happiness, right? They are not spreading their loving kindness to others, but sometimes we can see they are talking much better, much sweet words, but even they wouldn't have at least one good emotion for others, right? That is what mentioned in here. Those who are not thinking about others' successfulness with loving kindness emotions, they are also outcast. The Buddha mentioned that in this sutta. We can recognize outcast such a way, right? We have to include the human beings in this particular frame, right? The Buddha gave us frame which we have to measure with using of these regulations, right? We can measure them, we can observe them, we can investigate them with using of these measurable regulations, these doctrinal advices. With using of these doctrinal advices, we can recognize who are the outcasts, who are not outcast, right? So, and then let's move to next stanza. The next stanza is describing yo hante parirundati gamani nigamanicha niggahako samanyato tang janya vasalo iti. So that's explaining another behavioral misconducts in this stanza. So yo hante parirundati gamani nigamanicha. He who destroys and besieges villages and suburbs is known as a agitator. Know him as an outcast, right? So someone who are going to village or suburbs, someone who are going to that particular places, if they are going to burden them, if they are going to destroy the people or people properties, right? We have to recognize them as a outcast. The Buddha mentioned clearly in this sutta what's the behavior of outcast, right? You know, we can see some people are killing others, killing human beings, or destroying properties others, right? And some robbers, like, you know, they are robbing others properties, right? And others things, not something didn't offer from others, right? So they have actually negative and burdensome, destroyable intentions in their mind, right? That's not good thing. That's not good ideas, right? That's not a Buddhist path. Actually, the Buddha wanted to taught good things to the human beings, right? The Buddha wanted to give a special philosophy for the people, right? You know, the human beings are the most powerful animal, the most powerful beings in the world, right? That's what we have to understand. That's what we have to understood that, right? We have to understood that, right? Human beings are the most powerful beings, right? The Buddha mentioned that on the one occasion, right? We have to keep in mind that, true. So the Buddhist philosophy for the actually, especially wise person, right? Otherwise, unwise persons wouldn't able to catch up this Buddhism suddenly, right? So they have to practice. We have to practice to understand Buddhist philosophy, right? After practicing a special period of time, we can motivate our mind, we can motivate our intentions, we can motivate our notions to other way, right? The positive way it means, right? So the Buddha preached a lot of suttas, especially you know, Parabhava Sutta that I have preached in previous week, right? Parabhava Sutta. So there's another sutta very important for us, right? And then how to cultivate with, obviously, you know, good habits in our life, right? That's what the Buddha preached in Mangala Sutta, right? So auspicious sutta, that called auspicious sutta. That sutta mentioned what types of good habitual characteristics have good actions, good good things that we have to practice in our life to increase our inner happiness and to be a successful person, right? Auspicious sutta. And then this sutta mentioned that the Buddha gave us a special advises to recognize outcasts who are living around us. With using of these Dhamma advices, we can recognize who are the person dealing with outcast, who are the person doing bad things, doing negative things, practicing pessimistic actions, right? Thinking with pessimistic ways, right? We can recognize as their behavior, as their expressions, as their words, right? As their behavior, right? That's very important thing. Let's move on to next stanza. Gameva yadivaranye yang paresang mamaitang Teya dinnang adiyati tang janya vasalo iti. That's another good advices included to that particular stanza. Gameva yadivaranye yang paresang mamaita. So someone who are living in village or jungle, whatever belongs to others, they are going to steal them, right? That's mentioned in this stanza. Someone who are living in village or forest, they are keen on grasp without knowing others' stuff, right? Other substances. Without knowing, they are grasping others' properties, right? They are practicing steal, right? They are practicing, they are dealing with steal, right? They are dealing with grasping others' properties, others' substances. That's not good thing. The Buddha mentioned that actually 5 precepts, right? Adinna dana, right? We have to practice not to grasp others' things which is not belongs to us, right? Which is not get permission from others, right? Those things are not belong us, right? Belongs to us. We have to protect others' properties, right? We have to protect others' life, right? Others' substances, others' stuff. That's what's mentioned here. We can see a lot of, when we are listening news, when we are reading newspapers, right? We can see a lot of thieves are robbing others' properties, right? That's not good thing for the human beings. As a human being, we have to practice compassion, we have to practice loving kindness, we have to practice kindfulness for the society. That's what developing our society with good people, with full of good persons, right? We have to all the way practice compassionate, we have to all the way practice equanimity, right? We have to all the way practice good emotions for the society that gives us good efforts, that gives us good effectiveness for our life as a repercussion, right? That's what we can understand with learning these types of special Buddhist suttas as preached by the Buddha. So today I have explained about Vasala Sutta. We are describing, we are sharing Dhamma knowledge with a special sutta called Vasala Sutta. So I have discussed about 4 stanzas today. So I would prefer to continue this sutta to next day, because this is a bit long sutta. So I will continue this sutta next Monday also. So this is, I think, good thing for us, because it's not enough time, the discussing with a long period. It's not convenient for us, right? It's not giving our mental calmness to learn a lot of things, right? There's good things too. I think it's that good enough to discuss the next Monday also. So I'm going to finish today Dhamma sermon actually in this point. So finally, we have to share the merits with God, right? So may the sharing all the merits with gods, may they attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. May they protect you and your family with their blessings, right? So let's share merits with gods. Right? Akasattha cha bummattha devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu loka sasanang. Akasattha cha bummattha devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu desanang. Akasatta ca bummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu mang paranti. Abhivadana silisse niccang vaddapachayino chattaro dhamma vaddante ayuvanno sukang balang. Sabbitiyo vivajjanto sabbarogo vinassato mate bhavatvantarayo sukhe degayuko bhava bhavatu sabba mangalang rakkanto sabba devata sabba buddhanubhavena sada sotti bhavantu te. Sabba dhammanubhavena sada sotti bhavantu te. Sabba sanghanubhavena sada sotti bhavantu te. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May the triple gems bless you for all of you. Thank you so much listening this Dhamma sermon.